let's talk about the fact that some social situations are boring. Shh. I'm sorry, it's not a you thing, it's a me thing. The truth is that people with ADHD, for us, interest is the most important factor in our paying attention. And this isn't my opinion, this is backed by science. We need to be interested to pay attention. And some social obligations are not exciting or sparkly. Hi friends, I'm Caroline Maguire, and I am here to talk about all things friendship and ADHD. So having some hacks to help adults with ADHD figure out how to make socializing interesting and strategies that keep our neurology in mind is really important. If going somewhere feels heavy and unrewarding, and I am that person who complains all the way there and then you can't drag me away, it's harder for us to show up and we're more likely to opt out. One reason why people with ADHD don't reach out or organize gatherings is that the effort level required to do so is so much. Before I get into it, may I ask you to subscribe, click the notifications bell, and like this video and share it with somebody who needs it. You can find all my social media information at my website below. Boredom can play a big role in ADHD symptoms. So one of the first things you need to know is that everybody talks about our brain like it's overactive. It's actually underactive. So our brain is always seeking stimulation, and it's very common for those of us with ADHD to feel like we just are falling asleep and we're bored. Our brain wiring is different than neurotypical folks, and we don't feel pleasure and rewards and motivation the same way. Neurotransmitters such as dopamine are released in lesser amounts, and we tend to feel less satisfied internally, so we often seek external stimulation. When we are stimulated, the executive functioning in our brain seems to work better. For those of us who are impulsive, we might get bored. We may tune into things that have nothing to do with the task at hand, and it makes it really hard to be present because that squirrel hanging from that bird feeder, oh, he's interesting. Boredom makes it hard to sit, and we get actually agitated. So when we are bored, there's something called agitation, and we feel like we're gonna jump out of our skin, and you might find yourself just unable to cope. And in that case, sometimes we make social gaffes or we say the wrong things, and it's really hard because we have good intentions, but following through on those intentions is really hard. 1, identify what stimulates you. What interests you may not interest me. For some, it's novelty, something new, while others, it's a sport or a talent that they want to master. What satisfies you? Think back of what you would like to do for fun. What made you happy when you were a kid? Those things that stimulate you are the things that will help you as you socialize. 2, diagnose. We have to feel like it's worth it. So when are you bored? Historically, when do you find the environment or the situation boring? If I know that I'm going somewhere where there's going to be great conversation, I'm good. But one of my closest friends with ADHD cannot sit at a table and chat. You have to know that in advance in order to problem solve, especially if you're going to a work function or something where you don't want to insult someone like a wedding. 3, turn it into a game. Gamify your social engagement. Listen keenly. Make little things. One of my favorites is that I count the number of times certain people say something, and I enjoy life's folly, so this also amuses me. So for instance, when people brag about their children and they're like, they went to Johns Hopkins, I count the number of times that they say that in a given meeting. It's just something I do. 4, make it automatic. Operationalize it by setting up standing, fun social activities. This is easier and more natural, and that way you're not forced into situations except when you absolutely need to. It's obligatory. Most of the situations, you're engineering the environment and you're operationalizing. It's standing, it's fun, it's automatic. 5, multitask. Some people with ADHD can't multitask and some people can. And I am actually a person who can multitask. I enjoy life where there's like 47 windows open. Why not call a friend while you're washing the dishes, walking your dog, commuting to work? Yes, I do regularly call people while I'm doing these things. 6, make it urgent. We thrive on time limit. Harness the dopamine and the rush of urgency and pretend that your friend will catch on fire if you don't see them immediately. Make there some urgency so that you feel like you need to talk to them, you need to get there, and play little games with yourself like that. 7, offer an alternative. There is no rule that says you can't say, gee, that environment doesn't work for me. Pick something that makes you motivated and is less boring. Tweak the plan. Often I think that we think we have to because we've forgotten to call or we've forgotten to text or we are showing up late. But wouldn't it be better to go hiking and then coffee and feel good about it? Go somewhere with fewer crowds if that has an impact on you than to go and then be bored and miserable the whole time. 8, do it with a friend. If you find writing notes and texts and emails boring, if you really have trouble keeping up, have a body double. This is an invaluable thing for anyone with ADHD. Your friend can be someone with whom you do these tasks, and they can be a reminder system. Chatting and laughing with someone, figuring things out together can be stimulating. 9, make it fun. Adding humor to any situation, cracking a joke, thinking of rhymes in your head, makes things easier. Turn it into something that is fun and you will feel the rewards of being social. That's why I count when people say certain things. 10, make it hands-on. If you are someone who needs to be tactile in it, then painting pictures, making pottery while drinking wine, going to a dog park, game nights, trivia nights, they will give you that social engagement you really want, and that hands-on experience is really important. The benefits of spending time with people is absolutely the best. And sometimes because it's boring or the situation doesn't work for us, we opt out. But we know that we want to be with people and that it is actually better for our health. I think we have to do things in a way that is ADHD friendly, and we have to do socializing differently. So I hope these tips helped. Thank you to everyone who stayed till the end, and I will put things in the description that can help you socialize and make it less boring. Bye, friends.